What if I told you Seoul has more cafes than New York, London, and Paris combined? And not just regular cafes. I'm talking about ones you can actually drink coffee next to raccoons, cats, or study all night in a cafe that feels like cozy library. Welcome to Korea's cafe culture, where cafe isn't just about coffee. It's a lifestyle, it's an art. And honestly, it might be one of the best ways to understand modern Korean life. Modern Korean life. Bonjour everyone, I'm Danny, a Korean creator who loves sharing real stories about life in Korea, the culture, people, and life, and little details that make this country so unique. If you ever wonder why Koreans drink iced coffee, even during the winter, why cafes here looks like a movie set, you're in the right place. So in this video, I take you beyond tourist guides and everyday life in Korea, what we love, how we live, and what we're thinking about. So grab your cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into something that truly defines modern Korean culture, our obsession with cafes. If you walk through any street in Seoul, you will notice something right away. Cafes are like everywhere. Big chains, small independent shops, dessert cafes, even hidden ones in alleys or like in basement. But it wasn't always like this. After the Korean War, coffee came mostly in instant packets, like the small one. It was sweet, powdered, and easy. Then in the early 2000s, Starbucks entered Korea, and it changed everything. Suddenly, coffee wasn't just about caffeine, it became part of lifestyle, identity, even social status. But Koreans took it further. They reinvented coffee culture in their own creative way. Now, Seoul alone is believed to have over 18,000 cafes. The exact number depends on how you define a cafe. For us, cafes aren't just where you coffee. They are places to work, to study, to rest, or to simply exist peacefully for a while. Even every weekend I try to go on a cafe, like usually independent cafes, because I want to understand what kind of environment the cafe owner wanted to make. And it's pretty relaxing most of the times. I even have a blog to post all those kind of things. So I post the experience that I had in each cafes, and it's pretty interesting to see the pictures after like few months. It's pretty unique. Each cafe has different like style. So yeah, so I would really recommend you to visit one if you are living in Korea or if you're thinking about visiting Korea. Yeah, in Korea, a cafe is just a shop. It's an experience. As I mentioned, there are cat cafes, dog cafes, raccoon cafes, even sheep cafes in countryside. Then there are concept cafes like flower cafes filled with roses, or minimalist white cafes that looks like museum, or retro cafes that feel like stepping into 1980s of Korea. Many people spend hours in there. Some people read, or some people work, or some people do sketching, journaling. Because apartments here are really small, and cafes have become our second reading rooms, I guess. When I want to spend time on doing those kind of things, I usually go to cafe as well. And every detail like lighting, scent, and background music is carefully curated by the cafe owners. And some cafes feel more like art galleries than coffee shops. Really, I'm not just saying it really is. So they are really calm, beautiful, and strangely really comfortable. Yeah, sometimes I go to a cafe during like a rainy day, and sometimes the cafe owner turns on the jazzy music, and I read a book in the cafe sitting on a comfortable sofa. Dude, that literally isn't heaven. Yeah. So yeah, now let's talk about the real engine behind all this. Is social media. So in Korea, cafes don't just sell coffee, they sell aesthetic experience. So every new cafes need an Instagram moment. Like for me, I uploaded the pictures in my Naver blog. Naver is Korean style Google. So like a Naver blog is basically like a Google blog of Korean style, I guess. Anyway, the Instagram perfect moment to like that perfect nail wall, marble table, or photogenic drink. Really colorful drinks are there as well. So there's even a trend called the selfie latte. I think it's gone at the moment, but when you send a photo and literally they print it on the foam of your coffee. To be honest, I've never seen this, but when I did the research, there was it. But I don't think it still exists. Yeah, people travel across the city to take the photo, take the picture when they are in a cafe. So sometimes they don't even finish drinking. They just want to take a perfect shot. So they just sit there. Instead of drinking it, they just take pictures. So, and that's not a bad thing. It shows how creative design and identity are intertwined here. Each cafe is I would say like a small piece of art, and social media is how people discover the place and share the place. Yeah, my personal tip is whenever I go to cafe, I try to see why the cafe owner set it up the furnitures in this way or the lights this way. It's pretty interesting. It really depends on the cafe owners, how the cafe owner think about the place and what they want to show to their customers. So yeah, I would recommend you to check that out when you guys go to a Korean cafe. And here's something most foreigners find surprising. Many cafes in Korea stay open until midnight or even later. So Australians, if you guys visit Korea, it will be really interesting. I heard you guys, like cafes in Australia close at 3 p.m., right? That's because life here runs late. Students study at night, workers finish after hours, so cafes evolved to match that rhythm. There are even 24-hour study cafes or 24 hours just cafes, quiet rooms with soundproof booths, soft lights, and background rain sound to help to focus. Imagine walking into a cafe at 11:30 p.m., seeing people typing, reading, and sipping lattes. It's peaceful, isn't it? It's motivating. And it perfectly captures Korea's balance between hard work and quiet healing. But beyond the cafe and aesthetic, there is something emotional about it. For many Koreans, cafes are safe spaces, a pause in a stressful world. Some call them healing cafes. So, places where you can write letters, reflect, or just sit quietly by yourself. And for the Honjok generation, Honjok is basically those who live and enjoy life alone. So cafes are their comfortable zones. It's where you can be surrounded by people, yet still have your own space. In a way, a simple cup of coffee is less about